meet my bride. Let's go for a ride in my newfangled automobile. Just where we will go, nobody knows, but it's sure a great way to feel. Behind the wheel of the speed meter steel, it's my newfangled automobile.
Hello and welcome to Vintage Car History. I'm Wild Bill. One of the challenges that historians have, and on a channel like this, for example, is finding good original source material to research from. And that's hard to find anymore. Such caches of artifacts regarding, in my case, the very early history of motor cars can be hard to find. However, a particular benefactor of this channel has decided to give to me one of the most incredible artifacts and books and group of stuff that is definitely going to help the channel, and you're all going to hear about it and see the results of it. And so I'd like to tell you about the man as well as the gifts, Bob Leibensperger. It was about almost 4 years ago when I was doing the research for what would eventually be the Henry Ford episode, the first one. And I had remembered that the Canton Classic Car Museum had I believe they had an 04 Model A Ford. And so I called up the museum. I spoke with Gary Husser, who informed me that he didn't have an 04 Ford, but he did have an 04 St. Louis, which of course led me to actually do a film about that car. But in the process, he introduced me to Bob Leibensperger. And Bob met me at the museum. We sat on the car and we talked about the car, about Timken. And since that time, Bob has been on this channel quite a few times. The Audrain series, those four videos. He's done some other videos, mine most recently passing on the Passion Special. And so Bob decided that it was time to give me a few of the things that he had lying around. And so let's take a closer look at them. Now this is a 5-volume series on automotive engineering that was printed in 1924. It contains everything you need to know, would want to know, or would ever know about cars at that time. Now, is that something that I can use? Oh, absolutely. Now here's a holy grail. The Dykes Encyclopedia of Automobiles. This particular one was printed in 1915. It has incredible information about all kinds of automobiles and the engines, the transmissions, electrical, etc. It is a chock full of information, and believe me, you're going to hear some of this information. And of course, we have a couple of other manuals, these being electrical. This one, the care and repair of a car battery, was written in 1920, and this one, electrical troubleshooting, written in 1926. Now these are very didactic books. They explain very step by step. In fact, the 26 electrical troubleshooting book, it reminds me a lot of my electrical studies in basic electricity and electronics when I was in the Navy, because it takes it down to that level. So great resources. And take a look at this. This is a compilation that was put together back in the 1930s, and inside these books you have the patent data for just about everything having to do with steam engines and automobiles, going for England and the United States, going back as early as 1824 for steam carriages and such. Incredible compilation. There's so much information in those binders. It's incredible. Take a look at this. Here we have these are toolboxes. This one is full of old hydraulic fittings from the 1920s and 30s, as well as pneumatic fittings. Whereas this is a late 1930s, early 1940s kit for replacing light bulb sockets in a car. for 6 volt and 12, both 6 volt and 12 volt. So this the neat little things to have. A lot of other smaller books are in here too, mostly engineering manuals, some of them pertaining to cars as well. So you have those license plates you see here. There's just, and so many other books that are also in this. But there's also another thing that was given that's very special, and that is one of the whirligigs made by the late Henry Ringer. Henry Ringer, as you know, if you've watched the channel, I've done an episode about him with Bob. He was the man that solved the problem with the air intake on the Ford V8 back in the early 1930s, and he ended up becoming a mechanical engineer, working directly for and with Henry Ford. Henry Ringer took care of all the dealership issues and showed the mechanics how to fix the air cowling and how to set the air cowling, and worked with Ford to manufacture on his line the changes to the cars of the 30s. But after he retired, he took up a hobby of making automatron whirligigs, and one of those was also given to me. And I'm going to show you this whirligig and what it does. So you see my lovely assistant is spinning it. You have the dentist. The dentist is, he's going in. Oh boy, the patient is kicking his leg about a bit. Meanwhile, the nurse is there, she's helping. Notice, of course, she has a wedding ring, it's appropriate. And so you have the dentist and nurse working on the patient. His tools are in there. And now, as this thing's working, you can see the mechanism in here. It's a cam. It's rotating, geared down through over here, which operates the various mechanics of it. So take a closer look here with it. There he is. Take a little close up right in here. There are the tools. There he is. Oh, yeah, I feel like that at the dentist too. A little close up here of the actual mechanism. A little knob there so you can spin it when it's not, windy, or actually keeping it inside here. Here's a little close up of the gearing and of the cam system. That is pretty crazy, isn't it? As I mentioned, Bob's been on the channel many times himself, and in fact, some commenters have even described him as a true gentleman, and he absolutely is. What he wanted was to make sure that these things went somewhere where they would be shared, and that's exactly what we're going to do here on Vintage Car History. There is so much information, so much research material here. It's going to make an impact. Bob, thank you. And thanks for watching Vintage Car History. I will see you next week. Peace.